Welcome to Flesh and Pod, a flesh and blood podcast, breaking down weekly news and notes from the tournament scene, community drama, game strategy, and more. And now, here are your hosts, Darick and Logan.
Hello, welcome to episode 203 of Flesh and Pod. My name is Logan. I am your host, and with me, as always, flying solo with me, no guest this week, oddly enough, is a man who has been battling tooth issues that are not his own, Darick Oswald. Darick, I don't even want to know. Did you do anything in Flesh and Blood?
No, the closest thing that I did to physical Flesh and Blood, because again, title shard doesn't count, is I'm still fighting with folks over my cards that are still lost in Ohio.
Oh, they're still in Ohio. That's good.
Well, supposedly. So let me open another browser here real quick, and let me click on the tracking link here, because I had to put in a thing with customer service, and then they filled out some paperwork supposedly with UPS to start the investigation into hey, where'd my package go, right? That's supposedly lost in North Baltimore, Ohio.
Not a place.
Right now, when I click on the tracking link for UPS, it now just says incomplete documentation received.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know what it means either, because clearly you received enough to track my shit. Right?
I mean, accurate.
I
guess.
Here.
I really don't have much else to add to that.
Yeah, I'm actually going to send it to you just so you can be mad with me.
So I can be angry with you? Okay.
Yeah, because I'm literally what does this even mean? Also, the incomplete was, that update was 5 days ago, so I have to call customer service tomorrow.
13 days after the on the way.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. I'm going to read this here. Label created 9/30/2025, 3:18 p.m. We have your package, Roanoke, Virginia, 9/30/2025, 8:36 p.m. So 5 hours later.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
On the way, North Baltimore, Ohio, 10/1/2025, 3:45 p.m. So that is 17 hours later. The next entry in this is on 10/14/2025 at 8:33 a.m. So nearly 13 days later, it says incomplete documentation received. That's not me cracking a drink, by the way. That's Charmer.
Yeah. Also, you probably can't hear it on the mic, but I can hear it through the door. Guess who's up again?
Oh, Monroe's back.
I can hear Sophie yelling through the door. Go back to bed.
Go the fuck back to bed. All right. Sophie might murder a child tonight. That's not evidence, by the way, if this turns out to be a real thing. My
name is Charmer, not Henry.
Huh. That's a callback.
Yeah.
This is and this isn't expensive. This is pain in the backsides, right?
It is 3 pain in the backsides and the boots, the ninja boots. Can never remember their name. They make a tiger claw.
Oh, pouncing paws.
Yeah, pouncing paws. That's
Hold
what it
on.
is.
This is pain in the backside and pouncing paws.
Yep, 3 pain in the backsides and pouncing paws. Because again, I ordered this.
Shit. I didn't know how expensive pain in the backside was.
Oh yeah, no, this is an $80 order or whatever when I placed it. So
yeah, those are $18 a piece. What the fuck?
Yeah,
I thought they were $2.
No, and not only this, but the thing is I would just locally source them. But when I looked at the time I was placing,
$13.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And by the way, that's down. They were $20 when I placed the order.
I guess you can Japanese ones for $10.
Yeah. So one, this is not an insignificant amount of money, but also keep in mind, these were the cards that I ordered when I was going to play in that tournament that
2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago?
Like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But I need the pain in the backsides like for my other assassin lists.
Right.
It's
you play
like
them
the
in
only
more lists. Yeah.
It's like the only assassin card besides Saver that I don't have a playset of. But right now I'm not running
Goon baits.
Saver. Yeah, I don't have any goon baits that.
I have extra goon bait. I can hook you up on the goon bait.
So it's just annoying. So I have to call them again tomorrow and be like, hey, by the way, it's like almost a week later now and I still have heard nothing, still don't have anything. Like at this point, just give me the refund.
So I can go get them?
And I'll figure it out.
Yeah? Who did you order from?
All right, are you ready? So again, I bought everything that I could from MinMax and those arrived. Those arrived. Very well packaged, no problems.
Because we can excoriate Peter, no problem.
As always. However, MinMax did not have the pain in the backsides or the paws. Because again, they've just been like hard to find. I think that's part of the reason why. Anyway, so I
have extra pouncing paws. I could have just sent you one.
Yeah, well, anyway. So I bit the bullet. And I ordered from the only place that I could find like the full playset of because I was trying to do as few orders as possible because again, I wanted it to show up for this event. So this is an order from Star City Games.
That's why Roanoke.
Yeah.
Huh.
So if you needed yet another reason
to not order from Star City. This is our Lexus King is wrong moment because he was trying to pimp Star City a few weeks ago.
Yeah. I mean, I was about to say, I shouldn't say anything too bad since I'm going to be casting Riftbound at one of their events in November, but
I don't give a shit. I mean, they didn't hire me for anything. Yeah. So fuck them. Weirdly, we're not. Oh, by the way, in Flesh and Blood, I TO'd the local ProQuest, didn't play anything, but I did get to witness some shit, which is a top 8 with no Syndras and 2 Dories and the event won by Victor.
Oh, so you got to witness like spray paint your mouth with silver witness.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was different.
I've said this before, but I'd like to say it again. I need to come to your ProQuest.
Yeah.
Because now with the rule, I only have to worry about Dagon one time.
And he was done. Right. So no Dagon. So a Dory, the top 8 was 2 Dory, a Verdance, a Gravy, a Victor, that was the winner, a Prism, and 2 something. What was the last 2? Brain no worky. God damn it. I know that we had this. Where's my chat for this? Central Iowa events. Maybe it's in here. Dash IO, because they played a Dash IO mirror in the quarters. And then the Dash IO had to play Gravy. And the Victor, who was the 8th seed, looked at the seedings and went, hold on. I get Dory, and then probably, because then there was Dorinthia playing Prism, and then probably Dory. I couldn't draw this up to be any better. And it turns out he was right.
The Victor did so well even without Syndras being there as well. Because I would think that's...
No, there were Syndras in the room. They just didn't make the top 8.
Well, that's probably why then. Okay.
Yeah. So his only loss... His losses in the Swiss were to, I think, Verdance twice. Which, okay. The Dorinthia matchup for him is literally I just win clashes. So Test of Iron Grip is almost always discard a card. And Trounces just make infinite gold. Test of Strength just keep making gold.
Yeah.
So that's like that's Victor's path, right? The Dorinthia list I was watching, and with the new Super Slam Dorinthia card, that deck has 6 fucking Jagged Edges in it.
Yeah.
What the fuck's Prism going to do?
Turns out that card's pretty good.
Yeah. So in Swiss, those two had played. And I looked at the life pad for the Prism player from the first time they played, and Dorinthia ended the game at 40. That's healthy life total. It was much closer the second game, but still, it was just like, I have 6 copies of Jagged Edge, effectively. This, okay. And the only reason the other one went so long was because Library came down on like turn 2 or 3 and stuck forever before the Dorinthia player finally got 2 yellows to just say, no, fuck that thing. So yeah, that was real. But so that was interesting. That was all I did in Flesh and Blood, was just as score keep and TO that event. Then open some product because, payment for event. I did open more overcrowdeds. So I have overcrowdeds.
I need some.
I need one more of the stupid Brute Stampede card, though, because apparently I have to play Brute now. We'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, so that was cool. And I have Super Slam cards now, so that's cool. That's good. I needed those. I've had some fun fucking around with Brute because, I don't know, seemed like fun before Rhinar promos dropped. So why wouldn't I lean in now? We're going to start in the positive for this show because there be some negative. But we'll start by being positive. There was a Flesh and Blood 6th birthday live stream today, actually, as we're recording this, on Sunday. And so the official announcement for Silver Age was the first thing out of the gate, which is officially launching on November 13th. It is Project Blue. There will be 10 pre-con decks, 10 of them, all designed to be competitive, balanced, coming in, what did it say? It said February, right? February 13th.
Yeah, it should be February, but it's also, if I remember right, isn't it like 2 waves, like 5 first?
They're both February 13th, both chapters. Okay. So I think that they're going to have boxes that have them both, the 2 collections, so 5 in each collection.
Okay. You said the word chapter, and you're hitting why I thought it was 2 different waves, because when they name them chapters, I guess in the future going forward, then obviously they'll have their own cadence, but doing chapter 1 and 2 right out of the gate was just confusing me. But
yeah, and that makes sense. But you're looking at KO, Icelander, Viserai, Dash, Flattering Showman. Bravo, Flattering Showman, Dash, Viserai, Icelander, KO is chapter 1. Chapter 2 is Azalea, Dorinthia, Phi, Enigma, and Arachne, Web of Deceit. So those are your 2 chapters. There will be 3 Silver Age Battle Hardens this year still. You'll have Valencia, November 30th, Seattle, December 14th, and Hong Kong, December 21st. And then there will be a Silver Age chapter 1 and 2 release weekend on February 13th through 15th. So that's nice. You're only allowed to have common, rare, and basic cards. So no Majestics, no Legendaries, no Fableds. I really wish that they had done, what's the best way to put this? I really wish that they had done like a slight modification to allow like a certain number of Majestics so that it would have opened up the hero base a little bit, but I get it. I don't feel too bad about that, but the banned list is huge. So I'm going to read this banned list, and it's going to take the majority of the episode. Your banned list, if the following cards are banned... Because
they added to it as well. It's not even just the old one.
The following cards are banned in Silver Age: Aether Flare, Aether Ironweave, Amulet of Ice, Ball Lightning, Belittle, Bonds of Ancestry, Cash In, Count Your Blessings, Deadwood Dirge, Drone of Brutality, Electromagnetic Somersault, Fate Foreseen, Fiddler's Green, Flick Flack, Goliath Gauntlet, Heart and Crosstrap, Honing Hood of all fucking things, Mask of Three Tails, NIMBY, Old Knocker, Plunder Run, Rake the Embers, Ragamuffin's Hat, Reality Refractor, Rootbound Carapace, Rosetta Thorn, no fun for us, Seeds of Agony, Sigil of Solace, Sink Below, Snapdragon Scaler, Stubby Hammers, Vest of the fucking First Fist for some goddamn reason, Vigorous Smash Up, Waning Mood, and Zephyr Needle.
Yeah. So
that's the list.
I will say one of the things that jumped out to me, because it's common, rares, and basic, is that, I wonder, going to be just a new terminology going forward that also includes the token rarity as well?
Token rarity became basic rarity 2 sets ago.
Did it really?
In the hunted, it became basic rarity.
I thought it still had a little T on the cards, though.
They are not.
Wow.
But yes, so basic rarity became the new thing. You were on an episode when Josh Scott told us about that.
Yeah, but I still thought it said T for token.
It means T for time to leave.
T stands for time to leave.
Yeah. This is a giant ban list. So this is at least curated. But why do we have to aggressively target the gold foils I own? That's my question. Like, why Vest of the First Fist? I don't see that's a problem. But taking away Rosetta Thorn, taking away, like, Belittle makes sense, actually. And Thorn does make sense. So does Waning Moon, for that matter. Because that shit gets unfair. Ragamuffin's Hat slows down Kano.
See, look, I'm not hallucinating. I just had to Google this. Sorry, this was going to bother me. Mark of the Huntsman still has the little T down there, okay?
Mark of the Huntsman.
Yeah, it's the token dagger from the Hunted. I was like, I was in Prague. I played this set. I looked down. There was a T. I'm not fucking losing my mind here, man.
Okay.
Never going to escape the
Calm down,
claims that I don't
Boomer.
play this game, but I actually pay attention.
But you don't play this game. Because your fucking pain in the backsides won't show up.
Yeah, they're a real pain in the backside.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I had to go look these up. I remember the basic thing, but I thought
I now have to look up
tokens,
Old Knocker, though, because I don't remember what this does. It's... Really? This is like Garland of Spring. We're banning Old Knocker?
I suspect it's because... So if I remember correctly, that's the chess piece that has Blade Break, but you can also get a resource.
Tap your hero, get a resource. Yeah.
So I suspect that it's just because you can technically block with it and then still get the resource, which might be proving to be too powerful for the format.
Man, I guess. They know something I don't.
Yeah.
Which is normal. That's not saying anything. The ban list for Silver Age is much bigger than the ban list for Blitz.
Instant speed is cheating. That's what I've come down to. That's the reason that wizards and everything else are a problem. It's the reason that, illusionists, a lot of their stuff is instants, right? I've come to the conclusion that instant speed is cheating. So,
okay, I think that's fair. We also got some spoilers for the Rhinar Armory deck. Which
they look great.
They do. Turns out that Charmer was just right, and they're really leaning into beat chest specifically for Rhinar. So you basically everything plays into beat chest. You have Bear Destruction, which is a 2-cost 6 block 3 red, which has beat chest, and when this attacks, if you beat in chest this turn, you don't control a chest equipment, which I think is perfect flavor. This gets Go Again, and the next Brute Attack action card you play this turn gets +2. So that's quite good. Smell Fear is a rainbow that is a 0-cost Brute action that is beat chest. If you beat in chest this turn, Intimidate. So on Rhinar, that's effectively 2 Intimidates. And your next Brute Attack this turn, if you beat your next Brute Attack this turn gets, if you've intimidated 2 or more times this turn, this gets plus 4/3/2, depending on the rainbow. You then have the equipment in this is actually quite good. So you get trampling trackers, which is a 2-block temper legs. Like, it's real hard to replace scab skins. Let's be real here.
Honestly, if there was ever ones that could do it, though, these might. Like, when I looked at this, I was like, if I am not like in a position where I need the action points, and so specifically when paired with some of the other equipment that was revealed and, you know, getting the agility tokens and whatever, I could see a situation where you might just want to run this instead.
Situationally, maybe. This reads, whenever you beat chest, you may destroy this if you do create an agility token. The helmet is Echo Cask. Whenever you beat chest, you may pay 1 and destroy this if you do draw a card. And then Torque of Vim is the chest. Whenever you beat chest, you may destroy this if you do the next brew attack action card you play this turn costs 2 less to play. And that's actually battle worn, 1 block.
Yeah, so is the head as well, which is
the
important.
head is also 1 block battle worn. Yep, so those are both quite good. The trackers are good. I don't know if they replace scab skins.
I mean, listen, scab skins are obviously great, right? You get the 3 block and you get the chance to do crazy things, right? But when I look at trampling trackers, if I'm somebody who I don't want to go all in on the rolling thing, if I think I have enough sources of go again, if I don't want to do, you know, XYZ, then trampling trackers, you know, realistically, they become like Snapdragon scalers that also have 2 block.
Sure.
Which is pretty good, right? Like,
that's not bad, but it's like future Snapdragon scalers because it's an agility token. It's not a quicken.
It's not a quicken. It's an agility. And
so it does not, you know, it pops, right? Bear Swing was the other card that was revealed. 3 cost, red and yellow. So 7 for the red and 6 for the blue, or for the yellow. It's a block 3 beat chest when this attacks. If you've beaten chest this turn and you don't control a chest equipment, this gets +2. So it's a 3 for 9 or a 3 for 8. That's pretty good too. I think that we're looking at some good shit here as far as Rhinar goes. He probably is going to get better. I don't know how much better, but that doesn't matter to me because at the World Championships in Philadelphia, if you spend $150 more at the merch booth, you get a promo Rhinar and a promo Romping Club, and they're golf themed. They're trying to make me a fucking Rhinar player. Can you believe this shit? Because, I mean, honestly, his golf swing looks mid, but it still looks pretty good. And I would play golf. I'd play golf Rhinar. It was fun because the person that won our Pro Quest was actually playing with the Beach Skin Victor. I was like,
that's because skins get wins.
Skins get wins, babe. You get it. And maybe I'll become a pro player by playing this Rhinar. No.
The nice thing about you playing this Rhinar is that you can get all that Saudi money when they try to sports wash through you.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I want Saudi blood money. That sounds awesome.
I knew you would.
The other thing was for the Calling Championship card. This is a fuck me moment.
Yeah.
It's quick dodge flexors, and they are marvels.
Marvel gold foil now, yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Also, this in full art looks insane.
It really does.
But, huh. Okay. Those look real good. Just going to go ahead and put that out there. So if you've ever been thinking that maybe if I tried really hard, I could win a calling, it's a good time to prove it. starting next year when these are the calling cards. Because holy shit. They also announced that they're going to be doing Black Friday packs this year. So if you go to your LGS, that is a gem store, and purchase Flesh and Blood product, you would be eligible to receive one of these packs. But they have not told us what's in it. So we don't know. Knowing LSS, it's some wide swath of things between, okay, this is just nothing, and holy shit, I just made a ton of money. Because LSS. That's kind of how they do these packs, it seems like. They're there's booms, there's busts, and there's everything in between. Which I think is the correct way to do it, if I'm being honest. Because...
yeah, that's... people just need to understand that what people really want from their card games is lottery tickets.
Scratchers are awesome.
Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all. I love scratchers. And the last little tidbit was RTN season is already close, really, because it starts January 3rd and runs through February 1st. So that's just around the corner, man. Like, that's not that far away to start securing Nationals invites. So wild. I don't think that I could have missed it, but I didn't think that they gave us a look at the promos yet. But let me look here at the retailer FAQ. Oh, they are here. Never mind. You have a Call to the Grave playmat potentially, and a New Horizons New Art playmat potentially. And then your top 8 prize are full art, the full art twin drives that we saw the giant cards of in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Are your top 8 promos, and they just say boost. There's no reminder text, so they're just sweet. And then the top 4 are cold foil micro text in the palm of your hands, the Pleiades card. So those are quite good. Top 4 are the qualifications, and obviously gold foil to the winner. So nice. Like, that's not bad at all. Looks like our formats will be classic constructed only. So sadly, no draft. But beggars can't be choosers. So yeah.
Yeah, I can actually. I'm going to be a chooser.
You're going to be a chooser because you just won't play regardless. Even if
I'm going to prove you wrong.
By playing in one?
Yep. I'm going to play and I'm going to win.
I would be very proud of you.
I know you would. It's the only reason that I haven't done it yet. I can't handle pride. I don't need you to be proud of me. That's too much pressure, man.
Really?
Really.
That's what you're going with?
Mm-hmm.
How hard are you sticking to that?
Rock hard.
That's the only way to stick, babe, is rock hard.
I'm bricked up on this take.
You're bricked up stacks on this take. Oh God, how bricked up are you?
If I was a different gender, I'd be serving cunt.
I don't know if that's gender specific.
Yeah, you're right. Anybody can serve cunt.
Anybody can serve cunt. Where are we now? Now it's time to get to the what the fucks of the weekend. We're recording on Sunday night for the first time in what feels like forever.
It has been a while.
That means Greg can actually edit the show if he wants to. But
and it's weird because I keep feeling like, I don't know, like there's a football game I was supposed to watch or something, but I got to be honest, like I haven't done anything.
I watched the Green Bay game and did a lot of yelling because there were things that I was unhappy with. We did win though, so there's that, but still a lot I was unhappy with. So there was one battle hardened on the weekend. It was in Houston. It was Living Legend format. One by Bird Cabrera. None of these are the bad parts yet. On Chain. The top 8 was 3 Chain, which is one too many. 1 Briar, 2 Starvos, and 2 Visceri. Now the bad part. This is in Houston, Texas, at an SCG con. The only real saving grace here, or explainable reasoning, is that this is during ProQuest season. However, a Battle Hardened is better than a ProQuest in most instances. Context: the ProQuest in Des Moines, Iowa, on Saturday was 24 players. The ProQuest last weekend in Omaha that I finished in the top 4 of had 40 players. This Battle Hardened had 34 players. That's bad.
It is.
That's very bad.
But I would love to see some numbers on how well Flesh and Blood events do comparatively when they're at an SCG con versus others. And I say this just because I feel like, I'm not saying that they never have good turnouts, but I feel like on average, it's probably less. I feel like every time we talk about specifically SCG cons and DreamHacks, we're always also talking about lower than normal attendance.
DreamHack, sure.
And I don't know if it's because the SCG con obviously covers a lot of games, and so maybe if people go to those things, you know, maybe they're playing a different game or whatever, but I don't know. It wasn't like that surprising to me. I mean, we already know Living Legend is not as popular as Classic Constructed as a format.
To put it bluntly.
Right? Like, we just know, like, that's just factually correct. And yes, it is ProQuest season. Now, yes, a Battle Hardened is technically better, but if you already have your deck tuned for ProQuest season, right, and you're somebody who's still chasing your invite and you haven't put practice in on a Living Legend deck because you've been trying to focus on your ProQuest thing, like, I would feel incentivized to just go to a ProQuest again too, you know?
Okay, sure. The SCG con in Minneapolis at about CC Battle Hardened during the terrorizing of Aurora. So objectively a bad Classic Constructed format that people really didn't want to play. If I remember right, was 84 players. So, okay. As of right now, for the Philadelphia calling entries, what do you think the number in stock is? How many more tickets are there left to sell for this calling? Mind you, 2 Battle Hardens have filled up that are Classic Constructed.
I mean, I can't imagine there's a lot.
Go ahead.
$34. I'm going to go with the number of people that attended this Battle Hardened.
There are 424 slots available for the Living Legend calling in Philadelphia.
Oh, well.
390 more than your number. That's bad. And listening to people talk about the format that have been testing it for Worlds, the consensus has come down to you play one of these 4 decks or you don't bother showing up. And I believe Mara put it on Twitter that you have like 2 A-tier decks or 2 S-tier decks, 2 A-tier decks, and then a giant gulf. And the rest of everything else is like D-tier or worse. And that's not a format that is interesting.
No.
If that's correct, like, let's go ahead and pull it back a little bit if that's a correct read. But there's not a whole lot out here telling me that that's incorrect.
I guess so like I hear that, and on the one hand, I don't want to diminish anybody's thoughts or whatever, but if you're in card games, like this should not be the first rodeo of like there's 4 decks. Like, I think if anything, we're just spoiled in Flesh and Blood, and kind of have been for the last year and a half, because a lot of the metas have been really good. But also, we've had plenty of times where there were just 4 decks. In fact, it wasn't even that long ago when Mistveil came out, and it was like you were on a Mistveil hero or you weren't.
Or you weren't,
like,
yeah, right.
And like that was it. So I mentioned this specifically because I don't think that the viability of different decks is the problem, honestly. And I would point to exactly that. Like during the Mistveil time, heck, even during like the Aurora time or whatever, it really felt like there was a compression of viable decks, and yet there were still people showing up for those. I think that Living Legend is a format that does not get the same like weekly play recognition, historically anyway, right? Historically. Does not give you a lot of, we've done it in some skirmish seasons or whatever, but has not historically given you a lot of reason to dive into it. And up until very recently, you didn't have a lot of continued support for it, both in terms of events, but also in terms of like card availability, right? We just now are getting to the point where we have Living Legend Armory decks and, some of these reprints and whatever. But if you are somebody who just got into the game during, let's say, Mistveil, and then you're like, hey, I really like this game, I want to check out Living Legend. And then you start looking at some of the prices of the old stuff and you're trying to build things. It's like extra daunting to build something that you're not going to play as often, right?
Sure.
So when I look at the economic problems that the game has had and the availability problems that the game has had, I think that right now we're in a point in time when asking, other than your entrenched players who probably already have that stuff or already were in the game, but when we look at the amount of growth that we've seen in the premier format of Classic Constructed, asking people to then go a step further when we know that the game has been expensive and we know when cards are hard to find. I mean, I got Pain in the Backsides lost in Ohio, for crying out loud. So I think that that's probably a big part of it. And then the other part as well, we're onboarding all of these new players, and if they didn't play during these times, it can also feel very overwhelming and daunting because they just don't have the experience with it. You're learning everything from scratch. You and I can be like, oh yeah, I remember what it was like to play against like, Skeletor Viscerai and fully tuned Starvo and whatever.
Sure, yeah.
And so we kind of like have both the experience, but also the, nostalgia to some degree that's going to drive us to that, right? Your people who like loved Icelander are going to be like, yeah, whether she's good or not, I might still have an inkling to want to make it work. But if you're a new player and you have no connection to those heroes and you're like, okay, well, I want to get into Living Legend, and it's like, well, I need to play like Chain or whatever. And you're like, I don't know, Chain was, LL'd 2 years before I even knew about this game existed, let alone got into it.
Sure.
So it can feel you're like, now I have to learn it. I have to learn how to play against it. I have to find the people. Like, it's just, I think we're just in the infancy, in all honesty. I think we're in the infancy of real competitive Living Legend. And I think that that's part of the problem.
Okay, so let's pull this back a minute and speak a language that not everybody might not understand, right? I feel like the intent of Living Legend originally was to be this wacky ass overpowered format. And now they want to dial it to be a competitive format. And I feel like that is akin to the original vision of Living Legend was like legacy/vintage, if you're comparing it to Magic. The intent now is they want it to be modern, extended Pioneer, right? Like an expanded card pool, but not fucking everything. To me, this screams either the need to curate Living Legend harder and then make the format of whatever the fuck you want, or vice versa, let Living Legend be whatever the fuck you want and, restrict cards or whatever. Even Vintage and Magic restricts cards, and then have the other, make a format that is more similar and more, I don't know, accessible, that more, replicates modern / extended. Your problem is this is not a rotating game.
Right. And
because it's not a rotating game, you almost have to have like a graduation thing happen where everybody's accessible in the whatever the fuck format. And then once somebody's living legends out of CC, then they restart and move into the next format, which is call it whatever you want. You can call it deathmatch or whatever. Don't care. So you go from classic constructed to deathmatch constructed to living legend. Sure. DMC, love ran DMC. We're going with it. Deathmatch constructed. And in deathmatch constructed, it's a shorter time frame to LL. So we can take, and whatever the overlap was when they ran over the barrier carries. So in this case, in deathmatch constructed, it's 1,500 points to LL, but it's not 1,500 additional. It's 1,500 total.
Right.
So Starvo's already gone because he's at 1,526 or what the fuck ever. And Lexi's not far behind. And so you have that overlay to help with some of the ones that, got a giant jump into the next pool to get them out of a format quicker. And then once you're out of that, you're only playable in the wacky, whatever the fuck you want to do. That only has one big event every year. And that's not saying that that's the best idea. That's not saying that it's the only idea. It's just an idea. But I think that we're hearing from the player base. I mean, even if you look on social media and you think, squeaky wheel gets the grease, vocal minorities, whatever. It doesn't feel like this is that. It feels like legitimate concerns. I mean, granted, you have your normal people that like to push buttons and kind of just yell at clouds. But you also have more nuanced and reasoned takes that are saying, bad look. And that might be the spot we're in right now. And it could be that you're looking at the smallest calling ever in Philadelphia. I haven't, I have a flight and I have an Airbnb. I haven't registered for anything.
Yeah. I mean, I would also not be surprised if we have a large number of folks that are, actually playing in the World Championship that are just not registered yet. You know that they're going to have a deck for it because it's part of the thing anyway. But they're
sure, but World's qualification is much harder than like Pro Tour qualification.
I mean, you're not wrong, but it's still also like not a non-zero amount.
Right, sure. But like when I played in Pro Tour London, it was over 500 players.
Right.
You're half of that for Worlds. I mean, right. Potentially. Every nationals had a Worlds qualifier, and then you have your ELO invites, and everybody else has to PTI in. Like,
I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me if there's like 100 slots.
Sure, potentially, that would still be a very small calling.
I mean, it would be,
and especially because you have players that are already locked in for the battle hardens for CC, just saying, I got this. Okay.
So there is another elephant in the room, right?
I like elephants. I like rooms.
Is this also, I'm kind of curious what the weekend is going to look like in general, because is this also a scenario where it's not just like that the calling is having small numbers, but unless you're somebody who's already qualified for Worlds and whatever, I wonder how many international people are choosing not to come. And I want to just say, first of all, would not blame them.
No, not at all.
Right? But we're getting closer to the event. We've talked about it a little bit in the past, but now we're closer to the event, and things have not slowed down. They've gotten worse.
Yeah.
So is this that like Living Legend is going to be the cause of the smallest calling? Again, least popular format, that will absolutely be a variable, right? But I'm kind of curious if it's going to be one of those things where the building is still packed and it's just the calling that's not doing well, or if we look at the numbers and it's, less than anticipated turnout because of the international travel to the US.
Like the international representation being low is definitely something that is, I would almost call it probable. Mainly because of the situations here. We've already heard of people coming from even New Zealand that have been turned away at the border and not allowed in. And it's not like you're going to get a refund on your flight. You're going to show up, get no cert, and then put back on a plane and sent home, and that's it. You don't recoup anything. So,
and that might actually be best case scenario.
It could be, yeah. I mean,
like that's
there are worse things that could happen depending on where you're coming from. So I don't want to sound alarmist necessarily, but there's an alarm.
Yeah.
And I know people that were born in the US that are very frightened about leaving the country for fear that they won't be let back in. So I get it. I really, really do. And that could be playing a part. But I don't know, man. Like, this is so difficult with the way that the US is right now. I'm pretty sure that most countries have a travel advisory for the US for the, one of the few times I've been alive. The US passport fell out of the top 10 most powerful passports in the world. US travelers are required to have visas in more countries than ever to be allowed to travel there.
Yep.
And there's no end in sight. This is just kind of the life we live around here until we find a way out of this, or we don't, and everything goes further down the spiral. But I would not blame a single person in the Fab community from overseas, or even from the US for that matter, if they chose not to attend the event based on safety concerns at all. I get it. We talked months ago about how we wouldn't be shocked if LSS made the decision to move Worlds. Obviously, we're well past that point now.
Right.
But, 6 months ago, it wouldn't have shocked me if they just said, nope, we're going to Toronto. Obviously, different countries have different laws when it comes to gaming and such, and makes it more difficult, yada, yada, yada. But it wouldn't have shocked me. And
yeah,
I would have said, yep, that makes sense.
And again, I'm also not I'm not giving a pass on Living Legends by mentioning this. I'm just saying that there's a lot of variables. I think, as I said before, I think truly we are in a position where Living Legend as a competitive format is still in its infancy. I think that we've had a big player explosion of new folks getting into the game who just probably don't have both the knowledge as well as the cards and don't want to shell out the cash to jump into another format. So I think that is a big part of it. And I think that there are other variables as well, like international travel, right? I think that, whether it's a battle hardened, whether it's a calling or whatever, I know for some of our other events, we're still getting good turnouts, but I remember a time when your overseas events kind of struggled to keep up with some of the North American events, and now that's not the case at all. They are killing it. And I think that is part of the story.
Potentially. But I am of the opinion that I would not also be surprised if we saw another living legend change before Worlds. It would not shock me. And I'm fairly certain that the majority of players in Worlds, depending on the change, would actually applaud it. Even though they've been testing with what's legal now. Because it's narrow and there's not a lot of counterplay. Play one of these things. Play Art of War Zen and pop off for 60. Fuck them.
Every time I refresh this thing on February, I swear to God, I get flashbanged. I really got to fix that.
Yeah, you do. You, not to mention just using the phrase flashbanged.
Sorry, that's because I have young kids. So
wait. Your kids are using the term flashbanged.
Yeah.
Are they using it at least appropriately?
Yeah, it's
not banged by the flash, but like they understand what a flashbang grenade is.
Yeah, they get it from like playing Valorant and other online games, right? Yeah. So they're
okay. I mean, you get a pass for this one.
It's really funny because when I watch Stark play Valorant, he every now and then he'll play Phoenix, and he does what every bad Phoenix player does, which is flashbangs his own team.
Sorry, I flashbanged you guys.
Yeah.
Is that a crime? It could be, depending on where you're at. Probably not in Louisiana after what we learned from Elaine. But
probably because they're alive.
Oh, right. If they were dead and you had the consent of the family, totally legal. We do have one listener question. We're going to go for a record short episode, I guess. But it is from Blazestorm.
Well, we haven't even talked about wrestling yet.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, let's do
Lexus King hasn't come on the show yet. Why should we?
He's never going to come on the show if we don't keep bringing it up. You have to cultivate the things you want in life, all right? You have to plant the seeds where you want to see the growth. But also,
why are you the wise one? Like, what the fuck happened?
Because, like, sometimes when I'm not actually being a silly little goose, I'm actually a stand-up human being with wisdom and experience, and I just don't do it for this show.
No shit. Let's go ahead and do the listener question. It's from Blazestorm, valued member of the Patreon. Now that we have fealty to make cards draconic, what would you name the tokens that do the same for lightning, ice, and earth? Lightning is current tokens. That's easy. Earth is grounded tokens. Maybe. And ice is...
No, it's got to be a soil token.
A soil token? You want to soil yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Ice is a baklava or a balaclava or a minivan with dark blacked out windows. No? Not the right kind of ice?
I mean, right kind of ice, but I don't know that that's what makes them what they are. I was thinking like an IP penalty. Like,
just give your opponent an intellect penalty. Probably something like a chill token or chilled. So
yeah, it's interesting though, just because a lot of the elemental, it depends on what the use for the token is, because Draconic wants to be what it wants to be on the chain. And while there are some of those things that also exist for the elements, for the most part, they actually want you to be what they are, either in the discard pile or in your hand for fusing or, XYZ, right? So I think that in many ways, instead, you need a token that just says like, something like it would do something, but it would be like all your blue cards, count as earth in all zones or something, or all like you would have to have a restriction, so it's not everything.
Red would be earth, ice would be blue, yellow would be lightning.
Yeah, that was kind of what I was.
Okay, thinking. I don't hate that.
And then and it's like a one time. It wouldn't be like all your. Maybe it's like the next time that you would do the thing, right? So
yeah, the next time you reveal cards or whatever.
The next time that you have to, show or find a card, a red card, it counts as an earth card, right? Okay. So you could decompose your sink belows, for example.
Sure.
But
that's not bad. Wrestling. God, wrestling.
All right. So is it a work?
Oh, Seth.
This is a question I was waiting to ask. Is it a work?
My gut says no. That this one isn't a work. I think Seth's actually injured this time. And so that's why they fast forwarded the bronze turn. Because I think it fucks their plans pretty hard in general. But they're gonna
see, this is interesting because I don't think it's a work. I do think that he hurt himself. I think, it's funny. So if you're not a wrestling fan, basically this person, it looks like, got hurt. Their name is Seth Rollins, right? Let me give you the quick backstory for my non-wrestling folk. I promise this is worth it. Earlier this year, he injured his knee, and it's somebody who had injured his knee in the past. It looked like he did the exact same thing that made him injure it the first time. And then he was on talk shows and radio shows and everything, talking about how he was going to be out for many months. He was walking around with a full brace, crutches, the whole nine. And in wrestling parlance, it was called a work, meaning it was just part of the story. It was a lie. It was a ruse. And it was a big reveal, big moment. That same person at a recent event appears to have hurt themselves again. Now, this time it does look legit. The move, it looked like they were trying to go from one side of the ring to the other.
Called a coast to coast.
Called coast to coast. And it landed as essentially a flying headbutt, but I don't think it was supposed to be a headbutt. I think it was actually supposed to almost be like a crossbody, like into Cody. And I don't think he got enough because I noticed when he got up on the ropes before, he did like a little wiggle, like he almost lost his balance. And then I think he just decided to go for it before like he lost his nerve. And I think he fell short. And in falling short, I think that's how he turned to his side and landed on his shoulder. So I do think he's hurt. I think it's probably some sort of either rotator cuff injury or, like a labrum or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that is why we got the turn. This might be my hot take, but I think that was already planned to begin with. And people think it's as a result of the work. But the reason that I think that is because they did even before he was hurt, they did the setting up of like, tonight we're going to find out if, Seth is better than Cody, but it was like Heyman talking to the Bronze. And there was all this emphasis on getting the monkey off his back and all of this stuff when, even again, before he was hurt, or he was saying like, I'm the best and that's why I have the vision. Now, obviously they played into it that much harder post-injury, but they already had a foundation there for what I felt like was going to be the Bronze turning on him because he cheated to win. And that they're maybe seeing the cracks of like, why are we following a guy who can't get the job done unless he has help or unless he cheats or whatever, right? I also don't think that it was like a fast track either, because even if you look at it, like if Seth is hurt, then you still got to get the belt off of him, like somehow.
Sure.
And I don't think that like fast tracking this turn just to get the belt off, like they could have anyone get the belt off him. They could have him still have the belt, but come out and like, cut promos about like, X, Y, or Z. Like there are so many ways they could have done this. I think that the turn was already set. I think that they wanted to do that as their big send off, like in Australia, to get people talking. I don't
think they wanted to do it before Survivor Series, before War Games. I think they wanted to have their war games like locked with the Vision +2. So the rumor was Austin Theory and Lesnar to fill it out.
Yeah, I know that was the rumor. I don't buy that though. So I think that the war games, and again, this was stuff set up before Seth was hurt. I think the war games is going to end up being MFT and Wyatt 6.
I think you're gonna have 2 matches. And
like 2 different war games, a SmackDown and a Raw. Oh God, I would hate that. I'm already like not a war games enjoyer because
I love war games.
Oh, I don't. I guess here's my problem. I miss the old Survivor series, like the elimination.
Oh, the classic
stuff.
5-on-5. Yeah.
Like I like war games when it's a bit more rare. Like to me, what is happening with war games is the same thing. Like when they had a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. So it was like every time there was the Hell in a Cell and then it kind of loses its thing. Like to me, war games is like you break it out for the right occasion. You don't force it.
Yeah. I mean,
because it's story driven.
But I
it's
like
not like
the war games match so much.
I mean, I like the match, but to me, stuff like that has to be like story driven. Same thing with like Hell in a Cell. Like it, to me, it's got to have bite. It's not Elimination Chamber and Royal Rumble. I like those being yearly things because you kind of don't need anything. Like they're just kind of classic last man standing, whatever.
I mean, Elimination Chamber is not classic, but
I mean,
the Rumble is.
We're old, but Elimination Chamber's been around for like 20 years or whatever now, Logan. It's classic at this point, right?
Oh, fuck. I'm going to look this up.
If the songs from my high school are on classic rock stations, then we are now in classic for our generation. I'm sorry, sir.
Okay, I'm looking these up now because I got to see when the first one was.
Had to be early on.
2002.
Yeah.
23 years ago.
So I hate to break it to you, buddy, but we're just old. Here's how I know it's classic. We're at the point where the entire chamber itself has been through several makeovers because the first was too dangerous, right? The original is the blue barred cage.
Yeah. Man, these are like Jack Swagger won one of these.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
The first one will forever be my favorite, though.
Ryback won one of these. Gross. Ugh. Like
the first one will forever be my favorite because
the Shawn Michaels one.
Yeah, the Shawn Michaels one. It was very entertaining at the time, and then when they did the documentary about the first one ever, I don't know, it was like 10 years later. They were having some of the people recount their experiences with it, and I didn't notice when I watched it like at the time, but then on the after the documentary and the rewatch, I caught it, and so now I can't unsee it. Booker T talks about how all he wanted out of the match was to get out without killing himself. He came out, he looked at like the setup, he's like, somebody's going to get hurt in there. It's not going to be me. And if you go back and you rewatch the match, he's almost always in the dead center of the ring. So if somebody even wanted to throw him on the outside, you can't. He lived in that center and got out without taking any real bumps at all. And I'm just like, you know what? I respect that. That's a man.
I also respect that. Okay.
You're forever as like, yeah, I was part of the first Elimination Chamber, but also
I made a business decision.
Yep. I didn't take shit.
Fuck this. All right, we're going to thank some patrons and get out of here.
Okay.
We have our associate producers, Andy, Sindra, Anthony, Ejor, Jacob, Aladoris, Octothorptopus, Sofsky, Heiner, Sleep Coma, and then we have our executive producers on up. We have Blaze Storm, as we said before, value member of the Patreon, Diana the Green Cosplayer, John, the Delusion Data Analyst, and then we go into Chargers, Chamber of Charcoal. We have Vintox, who's going to be on, I believe, we decided on November 2nd. Matt, who is welcome back whenever. We had Mike on, Mr. Brown, the Jackal, for his second run. Brandon, you're eligible for a second run. Zaris was on last week. He was great. We're getting close to a El Dorte.
The
Chamber
Hammer.
of Charcoal. The Hammer. And then Rich is our ceiling fan, as per always. He'll be here to sit in to grace the digital cuck chair sometime soon. I mean, I can't. I always remember because there's like this lawyer, like one of those cheesy billboard lawyers all through Indiana that says "Call the Hammer," and like we invented this whole backstory when we were driving through Indiana once, where it was just like deliriously at like 3 a.m. or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, that guy's just sitting there waiting, and phone rings. It's like, "Call the Hammer." Hell, I'll pick up the phone even if I'm fucking eating. And it's like, we just gave him this entire like personality the whole way. It was brilliantly stupid.
There's one here in Michigan that's like kind of similar, but he doesn't have like a cool name, but he has all these billboards that say the most wild shit. And the one that always gets me is on your way driving into Detroit. There's one that says, "Hit by a truck, hit back." And I just like imagine somebody calling him and he's like, "Punch the semi." Like,
that's not how anything works.
That's not how it works.
Yeah, if you're interested in becoming a member of the Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/fleshandpod. Links in the show notes. There are some number of tiers. Was it this week? No, it's next week that we're going to be doing the Teach Logan How to OBS. After dark. You don't want to miss that. I'm a train wreck. So, all right.
Choo-choo.
Yeah, choo-choo, motherfuckers. If you need to get into contact with the show, you can send us an email, fleshandpod@gmail.com. You can find us on BlueSky. Just search Flesh and Pod. Otherwise, there's the Discord. Links in the show notes. It's been a lot more, well, not today. Today it became less dour. It became more people fucking with me. Cool. There's also the Chuckles with Charmer channel. I am not clicking on it today. I can't do this. Chuckles with Charmer is a terrible place. Meant for only for the most deranged of us. And I will not be a part of it. Charmer, where can they find you?
You can find me in the Chuckles with Charmer channel in the Discord. Again, the Discord's free to join. Now. You should do that. You can find me on BlueSky. That's the social media that I use the most.
Why'd I click on this?
Other ones, but I don't know. Anyway, you can also find me like, I don't know, at a sporting goods store. I'm usually trying to buy socks. I like to have spare socks on me in case I get a hole in one. And yeah, golf puns.
I'm hating everything. Okay. Okay, I can't do this anymore. I can't look at this channel. I feel my IQ dipping ever so quickly when I look at that channel.
You can change it if you want. Instead of calling it Chuckles with Charmer, you could call it Room Temp IQ.
That's not bad. That's all I got for this week. Anything else?
No, I don't think so.
That's cool. All right. Well, thanks for listening or watching or whatever the fuck you did. And, I mean, if you rubbed one out while you're listening to us.
No, stop.
I'm not judging. We don't yuck yums.
I do.
You're yucking that one?
Yep. Sorry. Don't.
Wow.
Greg, stop.
We all knew who we were thinking about. And we knew who he was thinking about. That's all we got for this week. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye.